Have you ever wondered where some of the most fundamental aspects of modern society originated? Imagine a land cradled by the nurturing embrace of two mighty currents, a land where the seeds of civilization first sprouted. This place was more than just a geographic marvel, it was the birthplace of cities, the forge of empires, and the canvas for human ingenuity to paint its first masterpieces. Welcome to the dawn of civilization. Welcome to Mesopotamia. Nestled between the mighty currents of the Tigris and Euphrates, Mesopotamia was a cradle of life for ancient civilizations. It was here, upon this fertile crescent, that humanity laid the cornerstones of urban development with cities like Uruk and Ur, transforming arid wilderness into the birthplace of agricultural innovation. Uruk rose from these verdant plains, not merely as a city, but as a testament to human ingenuity, often hailed as one of the earliest jewels of urbanization. Its grandeur lay not just in its scale, but also in its sophisticated design, boasting temples reaching for the heavens, houses lined like ribs of order, and public spaces that pulsed with the city's lifeblood. Within Uruk's imposing walls that would defy time itself, dwelled the legendary King Gilgamesh. More than a monarch, Gilgamesh was a figure woven into the very mythos of Mesopotamia, immortalized in the epic that bears his name. Gilgamesh, with the strength of gods yet the hubris of mortals, ruled Uruk with an iron fist. The heavens, disturbed by his despotism, sent forth Enkidu, born of nature and wildness, to temper the king's tyranny. From the untamed wilds where he lay with beasts, Enkidu was drawn to civilization's embrace by the priestess Shamhat, who taught him of human customs and the warmth of human touch. In the heart of Uruk, beneath the shadow of its great ziggurats, Enkidu and Gilgamesh clashed in a titanic struggle, their battle a symphony of fury and might. Yet from the dust of their conflict bloomed a bond as strong as the walls that cradled their city. Together, they ventured beyond the gates of Uruk, challenging the terrors of the cedar forest and the divine wrath of the bull of heaven, their deeds inscribing their names in the annals of legend. But the tapestry of fate is unyielding. Enkidu, struck down by the gods for his defiance, succumbed to mortality, his passing harrowing fanfare to Gilgamesh's own mortality. Consumed by grief and the dread of his ephemeral existence, Gilgamesh embarked on a quest that would lead him to the ends of the world and the depths of the soul. He sought the wisdom of Utnapishtim, the immortal survivor of a deluge that once cleansed the world. Yet, in his quest for eternal life, Gilgamesh found only the bitter truth of his own humanity. A plan of renewal lay within his grasp, only to be stolen away by the serpentine embodiment of fate. Returned to Uruk, his journey at its end, Gilgamesh gazed upon his city with eyes wearied by the knowledge of life's fleeting passage. In the enduring stones of Uruk, in the lives of its people, and in the stories etched into history, he found a different kind of immortality, a legacy that would outlast even the stars. The Epic of Gilgamesh thus stands not merely as a saga of heroics and adventure but as a profound contemplation of the human condition, the bonds of friendship, the vainglorious pursuit of fame, the shadow of death, and the relentless quest for meaning within our transient lives. The narrative threads together these themes within the walls of Uruk and beneath the gaze of the Inanna temple, sacred to the goddess Inanna, anchoring the epic firmly in the soil from which it sprang.
Why did Gilgamesh refuse to play cards with the gods? Because he was afraid they'd always play the immortality card.
In the bustling cities of Mesopotamia, a complex society emerged. But what was everyday life like for an average Mesopotamian? Let's delve into their world of rich mythology, gods, and goddesses that shaped their daily existence and beliefs. Mesopotamian society was hierarchical. At the top were the ruling class and priests, followed by merchants, artisans, and farmers. Slaves, typically prisoners of war or people in debt, formed the lowest class. The average Mesopotamian was likely a farmer or artisan, living a life dictated by their social status and the laws of the land, such as those codified in the Code of Hammurabi. The majority of Mesopotamians were involved in agriculture. The fertile land between the rivers was ideal for growing crops like barley, dates, and wheat. Farmers believed their agricultural success was a blessing from the gods. Artisans and craftsmen, skilled in trades like pottery, weaving, and metalwork, also played a vital role in the economy. Religion was central to Mesopotamian life. They were polytheistic, worshipping gods like Anu, sky god, Enlil, god of air and storms, and Inanna, goddess of love and war. temples were the focal points of cities, and religious festivals were common. Myths, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, influenced their understanding of the world and human destiny. Daily life began early, with work in the fields or workshops. Family was the core social unit, and meals were an important time for gathering. Their diet included bread, beer, meat, and vegetables. Leisure activities might involve music, dance, and games like the royal game of Ur, a board game. Education was primarily for the elite, often taking place in temple schools. Students learned cuneiform writing, mathematics, and literature. This education was crucial for administrative and religious roles. Society was governed by strict laws, with the Code of Hammurabi being one of the earliest and most complete legal codes. It covered aspects like justice, labor, property, and family. Common people lived in modest mud brick houses, while the wealthy had larger homes with courtyards. Ziggurats, the stepped temples, were the architectural marvels of these cities. The Mesopotamians had advanced knowledge of medicine and astrology. Healers used both prayers and practical treatments. Their observations of the stars and planets laid the foundations for astronomy. They believed in an afterlife, though it was a grim, shadowy version of life on Earth. Burial practices involved grave goods, reflecting a belief that these items would be useful in the afterlife. In summary, the everyday life of an average Mesopotamian was a blend of hard work, family life, religious observance, and community involvement. Their lives, although challenging, were rich in culture, mythology, and a belief system that deeply influenced their worldview.
Why did the Mesopotamian teacher never play hide and seek with his students? Because they always hid in a ziggurat, and he wasn't up for the climb.
Let's dive into the mythological beliefs of the Mesopotamian. In the beginning, the Mesopotamian cosmos was nothing but a chaotic mingling of sweet and saline waters, personified by the primeval deities Apsu and Tiamat. Their union birthed an array of younger gods, who in their youthful exuberance, created such a cacophony that it stirred Apsu to wrath. Intent on silencing the divine clamor, Apsu's murderous plot was thwarted and he was slain by the sagacious Ea, also known as Enki in Sumerian lore. The death of Apsu did not bring peace. Instead, it roused Tiamat to avenge her partner. She marshaled an army of monstrous beasts to unleash upon the younger gods. Amidst this rising storm stood Marduk, a new generation god of formidable power, who bartered his strength for sovereignty. The divine assembly, gripped by fear, granted him supremacy in exchange for salvation. The cosmos itself seemed to shudder as Marduk, armed with the winds and imbued with righteous fury, battled Tiamat in a conflict that raged beyond the realm of mortal comprehension. With Tiamat's defeat, Marduk cleaved her body, using one half to craft the heavens and the other to mold the earth, setting the stage for life and for the story of humankind. Humans were then created from the blood of Kingu, Tiamat's second consort, to act as servants to the gods. This divine act imbued humanity with the spark of the celestial, a connection to their creators, and a role in the great design. They were made to uphold the work of the gods, to maintain the balance between the divine and the earthly. Marduk, in his newfound supremacy, laid down the structure of the cosmos and the laws that govern it. He fashioned Babylon as the terrestrial echo of his celestial domain, establishing it as a center of both spiritual and temporal power. This ancient narrative, entwining themes of chaos and order, of conflict and creation, resonates with the Mesopotamian worldview. They saw their own existence as a microcosm of this cosmic order, a civilization carved out of chaos, maintained through the structured guidance of the divine. The myths served not only as a reflection of their beliefs but as the very foundation of their cultural and societal principles. The grand narrative of the Mesopotamian creation myth is thus a testament to their ingenuity and imagination, a saga that underscored their daily life, their rulers' legitimacy, and their civilization's enduring legacy. It was in these stories that they sought to understand the world around them, to explain the unexplainable, and to give order to the universe.
Why did the Mesopotamian gods create so many rivers? Because they wanted to have plenty of flowing conversations with humans.
Embark on a journey through time to the birth of cuneiform writing, a groundbreaking Mesopotamian invention around 3400 BCE. This was no ordinary script. It began as pictographs and evolved into an intricate system of wedge-shaped marks pressed into clay, a method that set cuneiform apart from all other ancient scripts. Imagine a scribe, stylus in hand, usually fashioned from a reed, etching line after line into soft clay. Once their message was complete, these tablets were either baked or dried, transforming them into lasting records of a civilization's heartbeat. Lost to time, cuneiform was rediscovered in the 19th century. The decoding of the Behistun inscription by Henry Rawlinson was a landmark event, unlocking a language and a history that had been silent for millennia. Cuneiform was more than just writing, it was a societal cornerstone. It marked humanity's leap from prehistory to a world rich with recorded history, laws, commerce, and the arts. Today, thousands of these clay tablets lie in wait, their secrets yet to be fully revealed. Preserving them is a delicate dance between archaeology and art, as we strive to protect these fragile keys to our past. Cuneiform's legacy is immeasurable. It laid the foundation for subsequent writing systems and the enduring recording of human thought. It's a testament to the ingenuity of our ancestors, marking the dawn of recorded history and forever changing the course of human civilization. Now step back in time with me to discover the Code of Hammurabi, a cornerstone of ancient law. Unearthed in 1901, this monolithic code offers a rare peek into the legal mind of ancient Mesopotamia. Engraved in stone over 3,700 years ago, these 282 edicts cover everything from family disputes to business transactions, all in the name of justice. You've heard an eye for an eye, a phrase immortalized by Hammurabi, but did you know it was applied with a keen awareness of social hierarchy? In Hammurabi's world, your social standing could mean the difference between a slap on the wrist and the loss of a hand. The code also casts light on women's rights in Babylon, revealing a society where gender roles were firmly etched in clay but not without a measure of protection and property rights. From the cost of hiring a ship to the consequences of a surgeon's error, Hammurabi's code regulated economic life with precision, ensuring fair play in the market and beyond. Today, this towering relic of human governance stands proudly in the Louvre, a testament to Hammurabi's lasting legacy in the tapestry of legal history. Hammurabi's code, not just a list of do's and don'ts, but a mirror reflecting the moral and ethical priorities of a civilization that has long since turned to dust. As our journey back to the present draws to a close, we bring with us a richer understanding of Mesopotamia. This ancient civilization, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates, laid the very bedrock of our modern world. Thank you for accompanying me on this enlightening exploration through history. If this voyage into the past has ignited your passion for history, don't let your curiosity end here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more captivating journeys in time. Every chapter of history we explore opens doors to new understandings and perspectives. So, stay curious, and join me again as we venture further into the annals of history. Until next time, farewell, and keep the spirit of discovery alive.